Today's Woman is brought to you by
Gino Pomo Tomato Mix.
As always, a very good afternoon to you, my dear viewers, and thank you for choosing to spend the next hour with me here on the Today's Woman Show. I am yours truly, Audrey Salome, and it is an honor to be your host. The Today's Woman Show is brought to you by Gino Tomato Mix, Jollof Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Gino Truly Cares, and supported by one of Ghana's leading makeup brands, SO Aesthetics, my glam squad. Today we're catching up with someone who was last on this very show 11 years ago. Yes, 11 years. Since then, she's gone on to impact over 20,000 children through literacy and put Ghana on the global stage. Hint, hint, I'm sure you know who I'm talking of. But before I continue, woman to woman, and in her honor today, allow me to touch on the subject, the power of one word, how literacy changes the course of a life. The ability to read and write opens up a world of opportunities and possibilities that would otherwise be closed off to those who are illiterate. Literacy is a powerful tool that has the ability to change the course of a person's life with just one word. That one word can make all the difference in a person's life. It can open up doors to education, employment, and personal growth. It can empower individuals to advocate for themselves, communicate effectively, and navigate the complexities of the world around them. Literacy is not just about being able to read and write. It is about having the confidence and skills to use language to express oneself and engage with others. It is about being able to access information, critically analyze it, and make informed decisions. For many people, the journey to literacy is a challenging one. It requires dedication, perseverance, and support from others. But the rewards are immeasurable. Literacy can transform a person's life, giving them the tools they need to succeed and thrive in a rapidly changing world. So let's never underestimate the power of one word. Let us continue to support and promote literacy for all, knowing that it has the potential to change lives and create a brighter future, individuals and communities around the world. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The Today's Woman Show is brought to you by courtesy of Gino Tomato Mix, Jollof Mix, and Onion and Pepper Mix. Now my guest, if you haven't guessed it by now, she's a Presidential Award winner, an educator, an advocate, and a woman of passion and purpose. Let's watch her reveal.
Eugenia Tachie-Menson is a passionate educator who has spent over a decade making learning fun for children through innovative co-curricular programs. Her career began in Ghana's media space before furthering her studies in communication in the UK. A firm believer in giving back, she has served with think tanks like Imani Ghana and on various school boards and PTAs, advocating for educational reform. Eugenia is best known as the woman who secured the exclusive rights to run the Scripps Spelling Bee in Ghana. What began with 30 students from just 6 schools has now grown under her leadership to impact over 10,000 children across the country. Through her organization, the Young Educators Foundation, she has expanded to include literacy in local languages and public speaking programs, shaping confident and articulate youth. Her remarkable work has earned her numerous recognitions, From being named a BBC African Woman to Know, to being honoured at the Glitz Woman of the Year Awards, and receiving presidential recognition in 2019 for her outstanding contribution to education in Ghana. A writer, media contributor, and relentless advocate for youth empowerment, Eugenia champions one powerful belief. Children are not just the future, they are the present, and they deserve investment today.
Viewers, join me. Welcome back, Eugenia Tachie-Menson. Hi, Eugenia. My skirt almost tripped me up. Yeah. Hi, my dear.
Hello.
Oh, welcome back to the Today's Woman Show.
About time.
Lovely to have you back.
Thanks
Can you
for
believe
having
it's
me.
been 11 years?
I'll believe it.
11 years.
11
I mean, I was
years.
kind of like doing a bit of a research. I just went on. Obviously, every guest, my producer sent me a bit of a write-up.
Yeah.
And then I saw your name. I'm like, Eugenia. But I've interviewed Eugenia before.
Yeah,
You know.
more than a decade ago.
More than a decade ago. And so, Googling you, that's what came up.
Oh.
Yes. And I saw Today's Woman, 11 years. And I'm like, yes, 2014. First and foremost, grateful to God for life.
Yes, we are.
11 years. Are we worse off or better off after 11
Better
years? Way better off.
Definitely better off for life's experiences and for grace.
That's it. Most importantly, for grace.
Yeah.
You know, after what's happening these days.
Yeah.
We're grateful that
Yeah.
11 years I get to see your beautiful face again.
I get to connect with you again.
I get to connect on air because we've done
On
that
air,
off
yes,
air.
we do
I just
our off
love
air.
this whole grey look,
Oh,
Eugenia.
thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
So tell me, we know what you do, which we'll delve into a little later.
Yeah.
What's a typical day not doing spelling bee for you like?
Typical day not doing spelling bee will see me reconnecting with family. So family here would probably be both, the immediate and extended. But normally I would prefer to hang out with the younger ones. I think that because I've had a very matriarchal role since I was, since I was maybe 9, I was even responsible for my older brother.
You're drawn towards the younger.
Yes, so I'm always drawn to mother. No, not in a very nurturing way, but in a more let's get together and get things done. So that's on a normal day that it won't be spelling bee related. That's what you'll find me doing, but there will be a moment in there that there will be a learning, a spelling, or a literacy moment.
Oh my God, are you sure they're not trying to avoid Auntie? Oh no, let's avoid Auntie Eugenia today. No. She's going to ask
Right?
us
They say it to my face.
to spell didactic.
Yes, they say it to my face. They actually say it to my face that we will only come if you promise you're not going to do anything spelling. And I said, then don't speak English.
Oh.
Don't speak English around me.
But are you good with other languages as well, or is it just English for
Very
you?
much so. I love languages.
Okay.
And therefore, other of our own languages. I think I do about 5. And then French, it's gone a bit rusty now. But,
Tu parles français?
Oui,
Ah,
un peu.
c'est bien ça. Donc, on va parler en français.
Non. Parce que
Tu
je
peux
ne
pas-
parlais pas français beaucoup.
Beaucoup.
Oui.
Oui, c'est ça, mais tu dois pratiquer, c'est ça.
Ooh, you're taking me back. You're really taking me back. And that's
Don't
one of the
worry,
things I'm gonna-
that's the extent of my French here. You know, I just use
But
it
it's
to bully
beautiful.
people.
No, but it's beautiful, isn't it? That you can communicate in other languages,
Yes.
and see the beauty of communication.
It is, I mean, a couple of weeks ago we had some, because I have the restaurant, and we
Yes.
had some guests who are Ivorian come into the restaurant, and one of the supervisors frantically ran to me, Madam, you have to come. They don't speak a word of English. And it's amazing. I don't speak French every day.
Yeah.
But I was able to pull out
Tap into it.
Tap into what I know, pull it from the recesses of my brain
Yeah.
to have a decent conversation. And I kind of walked out there feeling really cute with myself.
I know.
That they'll say, oh, we came to this place and the lady
And the-
speaks fluent French.
Fluent French.
Mais
And
bois.
it's great, and this is the blessing about being either a polyglot and definitely not being a monolingual, because in moments like this, and these are life moments, you will think that everybody speaks English, but then what if you're faced with a situation where they don't speak the one language, the only language that you speak. And you are able to communicate with people better when you speak a language they understand. And that's not limited to English language.
No, it's not.
Or French.
No, it's not, yes.
It's any. So you could be in an account space.
Yes.
When you speak to someone in the language they understand, you become family.
And you're so right about that, because, there were parents when, we had households where parents spoke English. Maybe the both parents were from different tribes, so they found the common language to be English. But for some reason, most children, as they get older, are drawn to speaking local dialects, try to pick them up because they realize how it makes you feel part of everything else. So it's a unifying thing to be able to speak someone's language. Now, 11 years is a long time, Eugenia. There are people who probably were in their early teens now, who are in their 20s, who are now audiences for Today's Woman, or who are an audience. I shouldn't say audiences. You should tell me off for saying audiences, but an audience for the Today's Woman show. So we want to take you back a little. How did Spelling Bee come about? And was it, because I'm thinking when you must have started, it's been going for over 20 years. When you started, you were pretty young. And I'm thinking, why didn't you go into one of these very attractive little sort of professions where you could wear your heels? You were still wearing them. Shake a bat or two, you know what?
I love my heels.
But you thought to go and sort of go into literacy.
Yes.
How did it all start?
So I think that, and you bring my mind to something very noticeable for me in my journey, that I've always been the one who did something different. Not out of intentionality, but because that's all I know. So I'll be the kid when I was growing up that we're all at a Christmas party and I'll be the only one wearing like an African print. And everybody's in jeans, and because that's what my mom had. I'll be the only one sporting short hair because my hair was too tough for my mom to handle. Every girl had their hair on. I didn't. So I think I got used to, it was a grooming grounds for not going against the grain, but not doing the norm.
Individuality.
This is who you are. This is what you can do. So I think in all my, when I was getting my education and when I was at a place where I could choose what I wanted to do, it was also the same. I went with what I felt I wanted to do.
Most comfortable.
So I was drawn to literacy, not even as a career. I just thought, I noticed that today's children were not as interested in reading as we were. I hadn't realized that I was immediately I'd put myself in the generational gap space. I just thought, no, but these are kids that I hang out with. Why don't they like reading? And then I would discover Scripps, National Spelling Bee of the USA. I was then a student in the UK. And watching it, I thought, but why, if kids 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids in the US can do this, who's to say that a kid in Ghana can't? It's English language and it's our official language, And I thought, come on, our kids can do the same. So I reached out to the organization, applied for the franchise, and I think a year and a half later, I got the green light. So when I even got it, when I got the franchise to run the program, I was working in the car industry.
Okay.
I wasn't even thinking that yet. Because I had just finished school and I was trying to find my feet.
So you sort of put the application in and left it.
I forgot about it because I got the usual, we'll come back to you. Okay. And that could be never.
Yes.
So when it came, it also came at a time when I'd just been fired from my last job. Literally on the same day.
Divine intervention.
Divine. So it was my calling.
Yes, it was your calling.
So that's how I started it.
So what was it like in the beginning?
In the beginning, it was fun. It was, I couldn't see any obstacle, even though there were obstacles. It was fun. It was really fun because it was a novelty. And in that beginning was about the same year that the movie Aquila and the Bee, which was built around the same program I had brought to Ghana, had been, premiered. And so the recall amongst children was very good.
Okay.
was very, adults hadn't followed it, but the kids said, oh my goodness, Akila is in Ghana, or Akila and the Bee is in Ghana. So it was
I don't even
fun.
know who Akila was.
Yeah, okay. That's how disconnected you are from it. But yes, as I say, it was, well, Akila, by the way, now is Kiki Palmer.
Okay.
Yes,
oh,
that's
I know Kiki
Akila.
Palmer. Okay.
Yes. And we met her along
you
the line.
did?
Yes, we met her along the line. And so, yes, it was exciting. It was challenging, though, because it was novel. It was a new idea that couldn't sit within the academic space per se, because it was seen more as extracurricular activity. So this is an afterthought. This is when children have nothing to do.
Then they go and do
Then
a
you go
spelling
and get them
bee.
to do a spelling bee. And also the third challenge that we had was that we had to go on like an education of sorts of our educators and our school owners, that spelling is not about recitation, because that's what everybody thought. Oh, just give me a list of words and these kids will be fine. But we had brought a program that went beyond that, but taught the children why the English language works the way it does. In one sense, when you hear the F sound, the first sound is spelled with an F. But sometimes when you hear it, it's spelled with a PH. Why is that? And normally the answer, you'll get it because that's how it is. But that's not the normal answer. The answer is because the language is borrowed. So where it comes from. So it's like how you've got the H sound in Ewe. The H sound can be spelled with an X in Ewe. Holasi, you know? So if you are told spell Holasi and it's Ewe, and you know your Ewe, you know that should be an X and not or
H.
Hehemeku is an X.
Yes.
That kind of thing is not an H. The same thing for the English language, which a lot of people have not been exposed to. So that becomes the reason for why the language behaves the way it does. So we struggled getting, because everyone was stuck in what they knew. You've got to learn the language in its form and structure, which was comprehension and phonetics, and they all add to it. But the foundation was where we were, because we had missed the foundation, so to speak, it was difficult getting people to buy. And people here would be the consumers, so parents, school administrators. But the kids themselves and brands at the time bought into it.
But you've done over 20,000 kids through this.
Over 20,000. Over 20,000.
Did you get to be personally involved with literally every child?
I wish. Not every child. Personal to an extent, where they all would hear me speak to them, or they'll all sit. We all sit at one place and we speak. But one-on-one, no. I wish I had that privilege. But it was an opportunity for me to also find out that teaching and learning it has a reciprocal role. Whilst you're teaching the child,
You're also
you're learning.
But that's life.
Yes.
It's not only
but our educational system tends to not
be one-sided.
Yes, it tends to be one-sided. So it takes the average child who will do a spelling, it takes them about 3 months to adjust to our style. Because we sit there and we say, so you tell us what you know, because we know what we know, but we need to know what you know in order to either undo it or add to it.
Isn't that what they call the rote system of teaching?
Definitely, the rote
Yes.
system, where we just dictate.
We just dictate to the
And then,
children,
yes.
and they're supposed to take it.
Take it. No
But children
questions
are,
asked.
now people. I think children are now kicking up against that.
Yes.
They want
Yes.
to know why.
Yes.
I mean, my son, if you ask him, and he's almost 30, but if you ask him or you tell him something, he wants to know how, why, when.
Yeah.
Sometimes quite frustrating.
It
But
can be.
I've gotten over the years to accept that that's the way he's also learning.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. And also, in order that you are more confident when you're speaking to the subject. So if we're just telling you that, well, phonetic is spelled with a PH, why? Because that's how it is. In an educated group, you will come across as a dunce, because there's no such thing as that's how it is. There's a reason.
How did you get parents to buy into it? Do you think they bought into it because they thought it was a good way for their children to grasp a good foundation of the English language, or they bought into it because they wanted to sort of nurture the competitive side of their children?
So the latter will not be true. The latter of the options will not be true at all. We're not competitive in that nature. Matter of fact, people will stay away and say, oh, we want them to go through the process, but not the competition. And you say, but that's the point. How, if you go through the process and you can't assess yourself,
how would you know how
How
you're doing?
would you know how? But Ghanaian parents will say, but that's what we want. So it's not the latter. I think that we were able to convince parents because they began to see how it influenced or the impact it had on classroom learning. It has a direct
I can
impact.
imagine.
Immediately, what happens is that because English language is the mode of instruction, right? We use English.
Yeah.
Every subject, including mathematics and science,
It's taught in English.
is taught in English. If you do not understand the words, you are unable to answer the question. So even with mathematics, which is quite formulaic, there are, in order that we engage the deductive reasoning, because mathematics is about deducing. So in order to engage deductive reasoning, children are given, or we were as well, given, what's it called? There's a name for it. It's like a statement, where say Audrey left TV3 at 8:30. It's a 7-mile distance from TV3 to her house. The car will take X amount of. So how would it? It's math. You are deducing. So if it's this and it's that and it's that, then it's got to be that. And that's what spelling does. If it's Greek and it's F, then it must be spelled with PH. So parents began to see the connection that, and it immediately boosted their children's vocabulary. Because in English language has just 2 roots. So it's got Latin and Greek. So if you knew a root, say bio, which B-I-O meaning life, any word that has bio in it, the child has an idea what it should mean, what it should be related to. So in that case, if you've taken a child through about maybe 3 weeks of training and you sat them in front of international news, they begin to
be able to pick things and put a picture together.
Picture together and then move. So that as a concept began to move parents away from, it's okay that my 7-year-old wants to read a Time magazine because they'll get it. It's okay that they're watching a documentary and maybe National Geographic because now they'll get it. Because typically we'll say, they're kids.
They're too young.
They don't understand it.
And those that pick it, you say, oh God, they're geeks, they're nerds. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was where parents began to see the benefit from how it influenced. It had a direct link to what was happening in the classroom. It also gave children structure because you've got to combine your spelling bee studies with school. So how do you manage your time in order that you get everything done? So they began to learn that, and then confidence.
Definitely.
Where you stand on stage, and parents will say, "Oh, they stand on stage in school," and we're like, "You wait till they get onto the scripts or the spelling bee stage." We've had situations where children have panicked, just blacked out on stage, just because the lighting was more than this. Stage fright. And the parents would go, but they perform in school. I said, it's not the same.
It reminds me of, I had my oldest daughter. In those days, there was a place where they did ballet, and so I thought she should do ballet as well. And then they had a national, they would do this national concert at the National Theatre. And on this day, she goes in there, she gets instant stage fright. She stands in front of the audience, and all she's doing is screaming. It was so embarrassing. Other girls in their tutus were going up and down the stage. She just looked there.
She had a moment.
She had her own moment, Everybody was there for her.
Oh, bless her.
But what has surprised you about your journey?
I think what surprised me the most is that we're still here.
And even bigger.
Yes, and even bigger because when we started, even our education authorities didn't think that there was space for this. They thought, again, as I say, because we considered it as something that you do when, an add-on, a major afterthought, like 4 afterthoughts, and also because as a continent, I dare say, we don't put too much emphasis on the arts. We use the arts for entertainment, and that's it. We rather focus on the sciences and the math.
Yeah.
So based on that, they couldn't see past really, how are you going to do a spelling competition that would have any impact of sorts? So I think that's been the most, how against that year on, I mean, there have been years that I've said, you know what, this is going to be our last year because...
you actually thought that?
Oh, I think if you ask my staff, they've stopped counting. You know, just before our finals, I said, this will be our last year. And then we will finish, take a 1 month break, and then we start getting emails from children.
Who wanted it done?
Yes, who would say, I know I didn't win, but thank you for teaching me this and that and the other, and I think I want to come back. And then I ask myself, so if a 9-year-old hasn't been that hit by what they went through, because they stood on stage and, in Ghanaian parlance, embarrassed themselves. They didn't make it. If they can get up from that and say they're coming back, then we have no reason as adults not to. We've got to keep going.
What was your motivation for moving to Nigeria, where you're now?
Nigeria. Motivation, mainly Nigerians. Whenever we went to the US, we were the only African country.
Oh, interesting.
In our first 2 years, it's when we said that, I normally would say it from a place of pride. We're the only African country that are participating in this program. It speaks highly of our educational system. By the 3rd year, it didn't sound right. Because when I looked at it, I noticed how we probably were perpetuating the narrative that Africa is a country.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Because you were the only ones.
We were the only ones.
And yet there were lots of English-speaking, English-speaking countries in the continent.
So immediately, that was my first worry. So I started changing the language and mindset that for now, we are the only African country. And then started making
and in sub-Saharan Africa
as well. So started making a bid for other countries to join in. We were given the green light for Liberia, actually, by the 3rd year, but by the 4th year it was withdrawn. And since then, we had to wait. It's basically, Nigeria has taken us 16 years.
My goodness.
Yes, 16 years of advocacy.
This is perseverance, dedication at its peak.
16 years.
16 years.
It's not been easy, but it's been worth it. And Nigeria, because Nigeria has the size, Nigeria, because Nigerians love competition. Nigeria, because Nigerians just don't think there's anything they cannot achieve. You know, and I thought that we needed a bit of that attitude. If our children were exposed to the Nigerian spirit, you know, our children can be impressionable. It just might push them some more. So that was why.
We're very safe as a people.
Safe people, yes.
We're very safe people.
But
how has that terrain been and the entry into, I mean, because you could easily get lost in Nigeria. I say Accra is the size of just Lagos State.
Yes, just Lagos State.
And they have how many states? I mean,
36.
36 states. Have you been able to do all 36 states?
No,
yet?
not yet. I've done 4 or 5. Yeah, 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But what's it like? How would you compare that socially?
Yes. Oh, socially.
Yes.
Socially, it's 100 times what we have here. So I like the arts. So I like that today there's a jazz concert here. Over the weekend, there's poetry recital. There's a book launch. That was my favorite. Every month, someone was launching a book. They have writers from here to eternity. And I think that really comes from their culture. I think they're very...
But I also find that they're very pro-creative.
Very creative. I was going to get into that. That their art space
is amazing.
Is bubbling with so much.
And they promote it and they support it.
Yes.
You know, more than we do.
Yes, more than we do.
Yes.
More than we do. You would see Nigerians wear their own.
Yeah.
They wear their own, they eat their own. That was the other thing. Because, you know, where in Ghana you go to a wedding and you know, fine dining. Nigerians will set a fine dining table, but you will still get amala. And they'll be eating
amala.
You will still see amala.
There's amala. And you know, the funny thing you should talk about as well, with their fashion, they have a diverse scene when it comes to their fashion.
Yeah.
And it's very affordable.
Very
exceedingly affordable.
I didn't know this, and I lugged all my things to Nigeria.
Oh my goodness.
And I also realized that, you know, again, when you're in Rome, you do as Romans do. And again, as a way of supporting them and showing them that you're part of them, you've got to consume what they have. And I realized it was it was cheap to pick what they call the RTW, ready to wear.
Yes, ready to wear.
And now, adire, which is
Yes.
basically
Tie and dye.
Yoruba for tie and dye,
Yes.
is it. Anything you're wearing must have a hint of it, and they have fairs to promote it, and even children are wearing it. You see it everywhere. In church, there was a wedding that I followed that the couple wore adire and instructed everyone
everybody
to wear
adire.
same.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was clever. But yes, that's what I've seen about the Nigerian space, that they love their own to a fault. Because it can't seem
Overbearing.
exclusivist. Yes. And also, but they are also welcoming. So there's the thing that they won't admit, that when it comes to education, Ghanaians are quite dedicated and committed to it. I'm yet to meet a Nigerian who's in their 50s plus who wasn't taught by a Ghanaian. Every Nigerian.
When there was a time when what is happening now, as we call Japa,
yes,
was happening then,
yes,
and then they packed them all back with the Ghana must go, right?
Yes. But they speak fondly of us, of our
They
teachers.
They do.
They speak very fondly of our standards of for education, and so that opened up.
Always teasing us.
Yes, about the
Ghanaians.
food. Yes, when you push aside the food, the jollof bit, and you push aside the accent, they really do have an admiration for us. They do when you're in the right circle.
But it's amazing, they do. But we always, we actually, I think, Ghanaians, we copy a lot what Nigerians do.
We do. We now, I read last week or so that we now call it swallow as well.
Oh, really?
And someone was taking exception to it, that we don't call it swallow, we call it fufu, we call it banku. But the generic name in Nigeria for anything you can swallow is swallow. And it's how they will turn a verb into a noun in a heartbeat for me.
Hey, I mean, they love their swallow. They will eat it at any time of the day.
Yes.
They're not coming into your restaurant looking for foie gras.
No, not
But
at
I'm
all.
grateful to them because they've kept some of us, our businesses alive and afloat. So,
yes.
We're very grateful. Now, with technology changing how children are learning to read and now, what do you think is going to happen to literacy in the future?
Oh, I think that the future of literacy, we're already here. The future is already here, because now we're reading books on phones. We're reading books on devices, so to speak.
Are we reading or we're playing them? So we're just sitting and listening. We're not actually reading. People are using all kinds of gadgets to listen to books.
Yes, people are using gadgets because life today has given us so many distractions that you need, so that the literary space is also responding, where we need you to read, but if you can't read, you can listen. You can't listen, you can watch. Bottom line. But obviously for children, you've got to groom the reading, whether we like it or not. So this is where I like the idea of the digital books. I myself can't read a digital book to save my life.
You want a paperback.
I need paper.
You need to feel
I need to
it.
feel it. That's all we say. There's nothing more we can add to it. We just need to feel that it's a book. But I think that literacy really is here to stay. I was reading how it is the concern is that AI would be replacing authors. I don't think so. The reason I don't think so, especially for leisure reading, I think that we need to separate leisure reading from just reading, because leisure reading is no more an art. It's no more a thing where can I just sit at a bus stop whilst I'm waiting for a bus or whilst I'm waiting for my Uber?
Or sit by the pool and read a book
and
of
read
your
a
choice.
Book. It's all that art
be on a
is
flight
going.
and read a book.
It's going. Yes, be on a flight.
It's amazing because when you're on flights, you'll just find people watching things.
Yes,
Nobody's reading.
Nobody's reading. Again, in our space, where especially in Ghana, because in Nigeria, I'm bombarded with books everywhere, every day.
Of local writers.
Yes, of local writers who, and I think because of their population and the challenges that they go through as we would go through, they're able to channel that into storytelling. And I think to a large extent, they are good storytellers, and they also are quite self-deprecating. So they know how to make fun of themselves. And that gives content for either comedy or for novels or for movies or for music. So as regards literacy, where I've said, I was saying this to you earlier, that literacy is not just the ability to read and write. The third leg of literacy, which we tend to overlook, is comprehension. Now, the comprehension is not, it means understanding, but it also means reading the room. So you know that when you're in the Nigerian space, yes, you read what everybody's doing, as in interpret what everybody does, see whether what you're going to do fits in or will be welcome before you initiate it.
Okay. That's an interesting. Now, if you had the ear of Ghanaian policymakers, what is the one thing you would like change about our educational system?
That.
Yes.
It would be a dream come true. But if I had their ear, I would say we need to relook, take a deep relook at how we teach. The way we teach is not student-led. Let me put it that way. Student-led doesn't mean the child does the teaching. Student-led just means that you are allowing the child to bring their contributions, to lean in. Okay. Now, let me give you an example. In my teaching working and teaching experience, I met a family who were leaving Ghana, they had relocated to Ghana because the father was Ghanaian and had come back for posting also. The mother and the children had to leave Ghana a year later because of an incident that happened in school. What was it? They were asked, the child was in class and was asked to draw marketplace. Okay? And they came back to the classroom, he got a 0, cried, went back home, and the mother said, we put in a lot of effort. I think we should go find out what you did wrong. We got there and they said, what did we do wrong? Well, what did we get? Maybe he didn't get it. And the teacher's response was that he was asked to draw a marketplace, and he drew a shop. He drew Tesco.
That's his marketplace.
He had just come from the UK. He drew and it is a marketplace. So the marketplace is online.
Oh my God.
But he said he wanted to see a makola. So I said, I said, the parents said, then you must have been specific.
Exactly. You had to be specific
to say, we want to see a marketplace with stalls.
Otherwise, it is relative.
But with that, you have just shut the child's confidence down. So this is where I say, this is what we mean by child-led, where if you don't understand what the child has done, ask. Because that's how we learn. That the teacher's defense was, I didn't know they just come from the UK. Did you ask? Why would you draw a test?
You just shut it down and destroyed somebody's, confidence.
So that would be my first thing. My second ask would be that our curriculum, on paper, it's great, I think, to a large extent. The delivery, though, therefore, it goes back to training. Even the people we accept into the teaching profession, the teachers of today, sadly, are not the teachers that we had back then.
No, certainly
not. It was a calling for those teachers we had. These are teachers
now people are just finding things to do.
These are teachers who would come to your house if you hadn't turned up to school, or call your parents. Today's teachers are doing it as a job. The 5 to 7 years ago when I had that information, I was a bit shocked that the entry level pass mark to become a teacher for maths was 3. Great. For English was 6. You're using English to communicate maths, but you want a lower score?
But for me, 3 for maths is still not a good grade. When I was growing up, a 3 was a B.
Yes.
So you need to be A if you need to know what you're doing.
So you can imagine what 6 is
in
a English.
C, it's a pass.
It's just a pass. So it means you're not strong enough to teach
the
others.
language, yes.
So because what's happening is that when we talk about it, people tend to think you're either being political or you're being finicky. But we who are in the field where we hire people feel it the most.
Oh, yes. What comes through?
Firsthand.
Oh, my God. I had to interview somebody.
We have functional illiteracy now staring us in the face. I can read. I can write. I just can't comprehend.
And even if they can read at all. I had somebody give me a CV and say they'd done BEC and they'd done their SHS, their WASI. But she couldn't read. And then somewhere along the line, she had reading as her hobby. I found that ridiculous, really. But, you know, we have to lighten things up a little. But before I let you go of the serious segment, what's next for you, Eugenia?
Next, I would say next will be Africa.
Dream big.
Africa, yes. Next will be Africa.
You know, you're standing on top of the tree. The sky is the limit.
Yes.
I know you will do it once you put your mind to it.
Thank you. And I've traveled intentionally on the continent, you know, to try and understand what we are about, what is Africa about. You know, being in Ghana alone doesn't make you African enough.
It doesn't.
You need to experience other countries. And we're bordered by another reason I'm passionate about the French language. We're bordered by French-speaking countries. How neighborly is it that we don't speak?
Yes, French.
We don't
teach it.
We do. It's taught.
We teach it. It's taught at school.
It's mandatory at basic level.
Yes.
But we don't speak it. So my Ivorian friends say, you write very beautiful French. But when you're speaking it, it's halting.
It's not the same. But you know what it is? It's because you were taught how to write, not taught how to speak. Now, the thing with me is I get to speak a bit more is that I was taught to write it and then I lived in Ivory Coast.
Yes,
so I was taught to speak it. But anyway, it's not about me today, it's about you.
Yes.
And we're going to move up here because I've got some interesting questions.
Yay.
What I call my quick fire round.
Okay.
Okay?
Will I need water for the fire round?
Well, not yet. Viewers, we're going to go for a short commercial break. Stay with us. Welcome back to today's Women's Show. My sponsors again are Gino Tomato Mix, Gino Onion and Pepper Mix, Gino Jollof Mix, Gino Truly Cares. Now, I'm sure you guys are tired of all the literacy stuff we're talking about. So we've moved on now. I mean, we're lightening up the mood a little. And I'm going to ask Eugenia a few questions.
Sure.
Okay, ready?
I still think I need a glass of water, but I'm ready.
To douse the fire when it comes, right?
Right.
Okay. So a book that changed your life.
I would say would be The Secret Lives of Baba Shegi's Wives.
Why?
It's a book by Lola Shonyayi. I think it drew me, it gave me a different understanding of how patriarchy affects men negatively. Because all that before I read about 5 years ago, or 7 years ago actually. All the while, I was of the understanding that patriarchy was against women only. Until, or let me say African patriarchy, I can't speak to general. But reading that book gave me a deeper understanding of how it doesn't serve even men.
Of course it would serve them. I'm not surprised. Your toughest spelling bee word ever.
That I've given or that I've been asked to spell myself?
Toughest spelling bee that you've been asked to spell. Obviously you've been learning.
You won't believe it. Yeah, you won't believe it.
Tell me.
It's any word that has EI or IE. So thief. If you ask me to spell thief, it will take me a while. Like
THIEF or
THEIF. Yes, I'll do that. I'll do that a bit before.
One Ghanaian food you'd recommend to an international guest?
Hands down, Gary Photo.
Oh my gosh. A woman you admire for her voice and advocacy.
Can it be two women?
Yes, of
one
course.
for voice, one for advocacy?
Yeah, why not?
So for voice, I would say Audrey Salome.
Oh my God! Yay! It's an honor. Thank you.
No way, I love you. You should be on radio. Whenever I hear you, I thought, this voice should be on radio in the evenings.
No.
You know, put us to sleep.
No.
For advocacy, there are a number of people I don't want to, and in order not to get in trouble, I will rise above the continent and our space and say that it would be Michelle Obama's advocacy against weight gain, obesity amongst children. I thought that was cleverly done.
A good initiative.
Yes, and it was cleverly done. Very well done.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Which tea?
Chai.
Oh, lovely, spicy.
Yes.
Kindle or physical books? I know the answer to that.
Physical.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Morning person.
Morning.
One word to describe you in this season of your life?
Evolving.
Still?
Still.
Wow. Wasn't that beautiful? Evolving. You haven't even arrived. You're still in the throes of it.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
We have a little activity for you.
Okay.
Before we let you go.
All right.
Which for you is a spell and tell.
Okay.
So now I'm going to be the student today. Mm-hmm. And you're going to put me through, and I have to pass, please. So you've got to be kind. Don't give me no big word.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm going to give you a word that I'm sure you would get most of the letters. Even if you made a mistake, or you're going to make a very educated guess, because it's got a root that we all know.
Okay.
So your word is Pentateuch.
Pentateuch. Penta. P-E-N-T-A T-E-U-C-H. I got it! Oh, I got it.
Yes, Pentateuch. Pentateuch is a word I love.
Yes.
The word I've come to, I learned it.
The first 5 books.
The first 5 books of the Bible. Yes.
If I didn't know it, I need to be beaten. Anyway, I just want to say a huge thank you for accepting to come back on here and not saying, well, I've done it with Audrey before. Why do you guys want me to come here? And knowing that you're not actually in town.
Yeah.
So it's all been sort of divine.
Yes.
And I'm happy that you sat with me today.
Oh, I'm happy for you to have had me.
And you've made my work so easy. I didn't have to look to me, to look at my notes or anything like that.
No, but you're a wonderful host. I'm not saying that because
Thank
we're
you
on
so
camera.
much. No, you're flattering me.
No,
you can have anything you want, Eugenia.
I want your dress.
From Nigeria.
I love it then, even more.
From Nigeria. Cheapy, cheerful, lovely thing. It was a gift
it
for
works.
me.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's really beautiful. I don't like white, but I like this.
You don't?
It's high maintenance for me.
It doesn't matter. You can't. Most days will catch me in something white.
Ah, that's good to know. I'll watch out for it then.
Watch out. White is good. It's good for the spirit. You know what I mean? So I love it. So, but before you go, there's always a gift for you. You cannot come to the Today's Woman show and not go home with a hamper. And my sponsors are so kind to give all my guests this beautiful hamper of their produce. So this is from Gino.
Thank you so
Everything
much.
Gino in there. Do you like to cook?
Yes, I do like to cook.
Really?
I actually do, yeah, when I find time.
Okay,
I like to cook.
so-
I made some mean okra soup yesterday.
So for your Gary Photo,
Yes.
the base is in here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So viewers, we're going to go to the world of trendy now.
Welcome to Trendy Woman. Today, we're exploring the art of saying no. Setting boundaries without guilt. Here's how. Be clear and direct. No, I can't do this right now is enough. Use I statements like, I need some time for myself to keep it respectful. If you choose, offer an alternative. I can't today, but maybe next week. And remember, you don't need to apologize for protecting your peace. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you're saying yes to yourself. That's the power of boundaries. Confident, graceful, and guilt-free. This is Trendy Woman, helping women live boldly every day.
Welcome back. I hope the world of trendy was informative enough. Now it's time for us to see who the woman on the move is. Stay tuned.
My name is Silla, CEO of Silla's Haircutters. We do braids, wigs, revamping, nails, manicure, pedicure, locks, and many more. So my business began when I got some small token and I was contemplating on how to use the money. So I sat down one day and decided to go into a salon business. So as a starter, this is what I've got for now. And I know as time goes on, it's going to be huge. Yes. So when I get to work, I pray with my staff, make sure everything is intact, everything is on point in terms of cleaning and whatever that will make my customers comfortable, and take stock. Then we start with our day. I had a client here and a worker was misbehaving. When I confronted her, she chuckled and walked away. So I needed more helping hands. So I had to call a friend to come and stand in for her to make sure the client is okay. The next few years, I see Celeste headquarters on top of the world, everywhere, Africa, I mean on top of the world, with more employees and more branches globally. So my advice to other women out there, especially starters, is that it's not by force to start with a huge shop, or whatever that you want to do. It's not by force to start with big capital. You can start with small and eventually it will lead you to wherever you want to land. So anything that you want to do, just focus and make the effort. Take the step. Just take the step and you'll be proud of yourself.
All too soon, the end of another episode. But today's conversation with Eugenia reminds us of the power of one word, how literacy, education, and advocacy can change the course of a life. But even as we celebrate stories of impact and hope, we cannot ignore the colossal tragedy our nation suffered a few weeks ago when 8 gallant men lost their lives in the helicopter crash. These men were breadwinners, fathers, brothers, sons, and entire households have been left grieving. On behalf of the Today's Woman team, we extend our deepest condolences to the families, friends, and colleagues of those we lost. We hold you in our thoughts and prayers, and we stand with you in this time of mourning. May the souls of the 8 rest in perfect peace, and may their families find comfort in the legacy of courage and sacrifice they leave behind. I'd like to thank Gino Tomato Mix, Jollof Mix, Onion and Pepper Mix, Esso Aesthetics for their contribution in making today's airing possible. God willing, inshallah, we will see you next week. Till then, remember, you are called, you are chosen, you are today's woman.
Today's Woman is brought to you by
Gino Pomo Tomato Mix.